Hey guys, Jesse from Fulla Strength and Conditioning here with another edition from the Average to Awesome podcast. So this is episode number 6 and I'm going to discuss why abs are made in the kitchen. So this is a widely debated topic, something that's heavily discussed. Basically a lot of people looking for the six-pack or the washboard abs look. What I want to do today in this episode is run through some difficulties that you might be faced in terms of getting from A to B. So where you currently are, maybe holding a little bit of fat around the belly and the hips, to getting sort of toned or trimmer through the midsection and making those abs become visible. I also want to crush a common misconception that is still, unfortunately, in the fitness world. So something that we need to try and change the outlook of how we get those abdominal muscles visible. Okay? Before I get deep into the podcast itself, I just want to say thanks to everyone who's been liking, commenting, and sharing on social media. So getting a lot of traction now through our Facebook page. So thank you to everyone who's been liking it and sharing our content on that platform, and also subscribing to our YouTube channel. It's great to see the Fulla Strength and Conditioning information getting spread through the wider community. So thank you for everyone for doing that first and foremost. So this episode, this was one that was actually brought to my attention by a colleague of mine, one of my teammates who I play soccer with, and it's one that I've wanted to discuss for a long time, but haven't really done through with a video or a long post or article. So I thought a podcast would be an easy, digestible way for me to get that message across. So, first and foremost, abdominals are not made through thousands and thousands of repetitions of abdominal crunches or sit-ups. I want you to get that out of your head now. The connotation that you can strip away all of that body fat and get a six-pack of abs just by doing crunches is absolutely ridiculous. It's ludicrous. However, I can see why people do it. They want to make those abs, those lines come through on their midsection. So I suppose one of the things that could come to mind is obviously training those muscles. But that's not the immediate action that you need to take to get the fastest progress possible. So I want to just let you know that everyone on this planet has abdominals. Everyone has the ability to get a six-pack or have abs. Everyone's got the musculature there. However, it's covered by a layer of fat a lot of the time. So what do we need to do to get rid of it? For me, the very simple approach is to clean up the diet. That's first and foremost. Nutrition makes the biggest impact out of anything that you could possibly do in your life to change your body shape and body fat levels. So that needs to be the first thing that you address. So when I'm talking about nutrition, I'd just like to identify a few of the major things that can be changed very quickly and then work on the smaller minor details after that. So a couple of nutrition tips that I want to give you that you can implement as of right now are the following. Number 1, get rid of liquid calories. So what I mean by that is any liquid that you have that has excess calories or sugar, get rid of it. If you are serious about trimming down and getting some visible lines and definition through the abdominal area, get rid of anything that contains calories via liquid form. So the main drinks that you should be consuming are water, tea, and or coffee, black coffee. So that should be the staple liquids that you're putting in your body. Gatorade, sports drinks, soft drinks, alcohol, they will all significantly hamper your ability to reduce body fat. So get rid of them. If you're serious about it, you will at least reduce the amount of your lifestyle. If you're very serious, you will eliminate them. So that's first and foremost. Get rid of liquid calories. Number 2, you want to incorporate as many nutrient-dense foods in your quote-unquote diet. So I want to just quickly run through two terms and what they mean. So we have nutrient density and we have calorie density. If your main goal is to reduce body fat and get those abs coming through, you want to include foods that have a lot of nutrients, so they are nutrient dense, a lot of vitamins and minerals, without a lot of calories. So just recapping, you want more nutrient density and less calorie density in your meals. So that means you might have to give up or sacrifice things like the sweets, the sugars, the ice creams, the what else? The chocolate bars, pizzas, things like that. Things that contain a lot of fat and sugar combined. What happens is when you get a food that has a combination of fat and sugar, it's something that you can consume high quantities of. So if you think about it this way, how much butter, just straight up butter, do you think you'd be able to have in one sitting? Probably not a whole lot. It's predominantly fat. There's not a lot of sugar in there. On the other side, if you were to grab a teaspoon and start trying to down some sugar, some just table sugar, how much do you think you'd be able to have? Probably not a lot. It's far too sweet. Then if you combine the two to say into something like an ice cream, where the companies get the balance just right, it's something that you can consume high amounts of in a short amount of time. Okay, so you want to get foods, whole foods that you can get the most bang for your buck, something that's actually going to do something positive for your body. Lots of vitamins and minerals, so vegetables, fruits, all different colors. Get the color of your rainbow on the plate and incorporate quality proteins, so lean red meats, chicken, beef, fish, eggs, things of that nature. Get some seeds, have some legumes to get some good quality fats in there as well, okay? So that's the second one there. What else can we do to get rid of body fat? We're eating clean. Consistency. This is a big one. So if your main goal, if you're listening to this and your primary goal is to reduce body fat, you need to understand it will not happen overnight. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, it's going to take time. That's the nuts and bolts of it. I'm sure it didn't happen overnight for you to get where you currently are. Whether you're happy or not happy with your body shape right now, it didn't happen overnight. It took time. It took weeks, months, if not years for you to get where your body currently sits. Okay? Now, that's not me trying to put you off this goal. It's far from it. It's quite the opposite. What I'm trying to get across to you is if you can accept the fact that it will take time, if you can understand that fact and put in hard work over a consistent period of time, whether it be 3, 6, 12 months, you will get better results than if you think it's going to happen in 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, understand it's going to take you time. You need to invest in yourself for the long haul to get these abdominals to come through. If you think it'll happen with a detox or a cleanse in 2 to 3 weeks or even a week in some cases, they claim to have these magic effects, it won't happen, okay? The next point I want to make is that weight training, resistance training, lifting weight is a far more effective method of reducing body fat than doing steady state cardio. Now, this is something I've touched on quite a bit, and it's something I still want to hammer home. Okay, I want this to get out to the broader community where everyone understands that lifting weights will make you lean. Okay, there's a difference between lean and getting bulky when you lift weights. Ladies, if you're listening in, please do not think that you will get bulky by lifting weights. Okay? The reason that I say this is, I have a question for you if you're listening. What do you think weighs more? Muscle or fat? Have a think about it. What weighs more, muscle or fat? The answer is neither. They weigh the same. Let me explain. Imagine in your left hand you have a 1 kilo amount of muscle. Now in your right hand you have 1 kilo's worth of fat. How much do they weigh? They both weigh the same. They weigh 1 kilo. However, the difference is that fat takes up much more space than muscle does. Muscle is a lot more dense, meaning it takes up less space. So would it not make sense, if the goal is to reduce body fat and get some abdominal definition to lift weights. If you lift weights, you will decrease your body fat, meaning that you will become, in fact, smaller, not bulkier. Okay, does that make sense? Muscle takes up less space than fat. If we do steady state cardio, we're not going to be getting enough muscle activation and contractions to induce muscle growth, meaning that we're not going to build lean muscle. The primary way to build lean muscle effectively is to lift weights. So that needs to be the main type of training you do to get definition and reduce your body fat, to get lean, okay? So how we do it is, I detail this in my video, An Ideal Training Week. If the primary goal is to reduce body fat and increase lean muscle mass, this is how I would go about it. I'd be looking at training roughly 6 days a week, be lifting 3 to 4 times per week, doing interval or HIIT style training 1 to 2 times per week, plus 1 steady state cardio session per week. Now, obviously, this may or may not suit your lifestyle. However, the main method of your training needs to be lifting weights that are progressive in nature, meaning that they challenge you more and more each week as you get fitter, faster, and stronger. Now, why that's important is that when you're trying to lose body fat, you want to train inefficiently. So what I mean by that is you want your body to use the most amount of calories, the most amount of energy to complete a given task. So if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. So that's why steady state cardio should not be the main method of training. Okay, let me just explain sort of the differences between the two. Let's take a runner, for example, a runner doing 5 kilometers. Say they do this, the run two times per week. Let's just, these numbers I'm just pulling out of thin air, okay? They're not fact, it's just numbers, so I can make it easy to digest and understand. A runner goes for a 5 kilometer run 2 times per week. Let's say on week 1 they burn 500 calories. Week 2 they burn 475 calories on each run. Then week 3, 450 calories. Then week 4, another 25 calories less. You can see the decline in the calorie burn each and every session. This is because the body adapts to the run. It's becoming stronger. The cells are adapting and they can complete the task in a more efficient manner. They don't have to use as much energy. It's the same task over and over again. The body gets used to it and we don't have to work as hard to complete it. Weights training, on the other hand, if you have a good program, does the exact opposite. You lift heavier weights each week, meaning you burn more calories. If you lift heavier weights, you will build more lean muscle mass. If you can build more lean muscle mass, your metabolism is going to go up every single week of this progressive training program due to that fact, and it ends up meaning that you burn more calories at rest. When you're sitting down, when you're on your way to work, when you're sleeping, you'll end up burning more calories than if you were to base your whole training program on steady state cardio. So that's the big one I want to get through to you. Weights training will burn more fat than steady state cardio. Okay? All right, let's just get that through. Okay, one thing I want to outline just lastly before I start to wrap it up is I want to get across that everyone's different. So everyone is built differently. People have different heights, different arm lengths, leg lengths, torso lengths even. So everyone's body shape is completely different. No two people are exactly the same. With that being said, some people are going to hold fat in different areas. Some people might hold it more around the waist. Some people might be more around the thighs. Some people hold it more in the face. And this can be partly genetic as well. There's some things that you're not going to be able to control. However, you can change it. It just needs to be a conscious effort to, like we've discussed in those 3 points, eat clean, get rid of those empty calories in the liquids, eat nutrient-dense foods, train hard on a consistent basis, and accept that it will take time. If you can tick all of those boxes, you're going to be on your way to getting a washboard set of abs. Okay, like I said, it takes time. If you really want them to become visible, you will need to tighten pretty much everything up with regard to nutrition. In terms of long-term sustainability, I do advocate a cheat meal, let's say 1 to 2 times per week. So for myself personally, I have a cheat week every Wednesday night. Now, my main goal is not to get a washboard set of abs. That's not my primary focus. It's something that I still want to stay lean. Of course, that's my specific goal. But having a cheat meal on the same day or each week, it keeps me sane, for one. It means I can keep doing my regular sort of nutrition practices each week. And it gives me something to look forward to each and every week as well. So say I've been eating really well, I've been training hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On that Wednesday night, I know, yes, I get to go and have a cheat meal now. So it might mean I go and have some chips or have a burger or something along those lines. And it's not going to hamper me long term if for the 95% of the week, I stay on point. Okay, having that one cheat meal per week, it's not going to kill me. It just means it's a reward for the hard work that you do outside or the rest of the week. Okay, so that's something I think you can slide in there 1 to 2 times per week, obviously depending on your current situation and your goals, how far you want to go with getting these abdominals. 1 to 2 times per week would be my recommendation in terms of cheat meals. The closer you get to getting sort of that 4-pack or going towards that 6-pack, then you may need to have it once per fortnight and just really start to tighten things up. So you'll need a low body fat percent for all 6 to become visible. Okay, and like I said, everyone's different. Some people might not even be able to get a 6-pack. Some people end up having lines that aren't symmetrical, or they might have 5 abs, or 4 might just be the most they can get. Everyone's built differently. Okay. So that's it, guys. That's episode number 6. Abs are made in the kitchen. You cannot out-train a bad diet, period. If you can tighten up your nutrition, that will make the most amount of impact to you in getting your abs coming through. Okay? If you have any questions on the subject, guys, please let me know. You can email me at fullasc@gmail.com, private messages on the Facebook page, and we'll happily get back to you and discuss this matter further. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you like this episode, please share it on social media. Share it with your friends. Tag someone who you think could benefit from this information and help them on their journey to getting washboard abs a little bit quicker. All right, until next time, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time for another From Average to Awesome podcast. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.